Just mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J. Mitch. We got Jackie Boy.
He tried to jump up and he might have knocked it in.
Good time. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys will come in and say,
oh, God.
So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there. Helmet. He's punching me in the stomach, like steady punching me.
Here, and there's everyone sitting around. Who here thinks Ovchinko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's been with the team 6 minutes. For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ovchinko can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I fucking saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
You heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled.
Whoa. What was that?
Time to start the show.
Well,
You had a circus or something.
6'3", I'm late. Like, I don't even know what I'd be doing.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle?
My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? And it's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they're
all fatter than I am.
Players, look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
Yeah.
He was like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now. Hello. Good evening. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is Wednesday, June 7th. It is, we are 3 days away. Is it 3 days? 2 days away. Actually, 2.5 days away.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
From the Super Regional at Alex Box Stadium. It is, no matter what happens, it is the last games in Alex Box Stadium. The last time that you're going to ever see Paul Skeens play in Alex Box. The last time you're going to see Dylan Cruz play in Alex Box Stadium. So go out there this weekend and support it. We are very excited about this weekend. We are going to be there. They play Kentucky. Kentucky had to fight their way out of their own regional. As much as they tried to give themselves a bigger advantage by giving the visiting team dorm rooms to sleep in, they were not able to overcome that and beat Kentucky. Kentucky lost that first game, won their way through the regional, and made it to the Supers. LSU is obviously hosting Kentucky for the second time this year in Alex Box Stadium. Kentucky looks going to look a little different than they did the first time. We'll talk a little bit about that, more about that on Friday than they did on than we're going to talk about today. But it is Wednesday. Jay Johnson is back on the show today at 7:15 tonight. They had a little team dinner going on, and so he's been kind enough to come in after that. Also, Michael Anderson, the owner and the creator of Boot Up Customs, right? If you looked at all the cleats that are custom made for the players, the guy who's behind that is Michael Anderson. He is coming in studio here at 6:15, so in about 10 minutes. talk about his story, talk about why he got into this. Obviously, he's an LSU guy, and I'm excited to talk about it. Maybe we'll get some shoes out of him. Maybe we can get some custom shoes for the set. I won't even wear them. I will just put them right here and advertise what he's got. But
What would you put on him?
I don't know. That's what you have to talk to the creator, the artist. I don't know.
Because a lot of people are asking about this merch that we have.
That we do not have right now. I'm working on it, okay? Would you stop doing that? I'm trying, okay? I'm trying.
It's
There's
Mikey
a lot
and Mitch Day.
Well,
I'm
the
just-
owner of the company of the merch just had surgery on his hand, so I have to wait for him to be coherent
Operable.
again and to be able to talk about the stuff that we need to talk about. I promise you merch is coming. I promise.
What a sob story.
LSU, I mean, it's true. It's very true. I'm not lying about
We
that.
actually had that conversation on the way to Hoover with people we needed to talk to about it.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
chill out, Lloyd.
Yeah, chill out, Lloyd.
Relax. Over.
Chill
I
out.
got plenty of merch.
LSU's first game is this Saturday at 2 p.m. We will have
Speakeasy.
our tailgate. I will not tell you where the tailgate will be. It is up to you to find us. But Mik'd Up will have a tailgate. It will be in a area that is accessible to a lot of people. There will be food. There will be drinks. There will be entertainment. If you're going to come to the tailgate and you want to tell us hello, bring your personality. If you don't bring your personality and you're not trying to have fun, just go ahead and just pass us by and
Get
go
the
somewhere
screen.
else.
Lloyd will also be taking pictures and kissing babies. So
Yeah, Lloyd will be signing autographs. Autograph signing from Lloyd.
we may have a dunking booth set up for him.
Yeah.
We're still working on it.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I would be all. You know, I'd be all in on that.
Running through the rest of these Heineken headlines, Dylan Cruz, Paul Skeens,
Never signed an autograph.
and Jack Caglione. Oh, well, there's always
One
room for
day.
a first.
How
One
great
day.
would it be if we literally had a dunking booth for Lloyd on Saturday?
Would it be Heineken Silver in there?
Absolutely unbelievable.
Ooh, just fill it up with beer.
That'd be great.
Fill it up with beer.
Drink your way out.
Yeah, the only way that's like beer fest. He tried to drink his way out. He died. He drowned.
Drink.
Landfill too. Is it landfill?
Glad y'all like me that much. Yeah, dude, go ahead. You'll be fine.
Dylan Cruz, Paul Skeens, and Jack Caglione, all of the three finalists for the Golden Spikes Award. If you don't know what the Golden Spikes Award is, it is the Heisman Trophy of college baseball. It is the best player in college baseball. LSU player has a 67% chance. Is that the right percentage?
No, 66.6.
66 point whatever. I rounded up. I know. 66 point blah, 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 percent chance of winning.
2 for 3.
Yes.
The real question is
The award.
will the Golden Spikes voting be any different than the SEC Player of the Year voting was?
Well, let's think this way. You have SC Player of the Year, but then Paul Skeens was National Player of the Year
And pitcher of the
and National Pitcher of the Year, right? Jack Caglione leads the country in
He's going
home
to win
runs.
the John Olerud Award, I would imagine.
The best first baseman.
No, the best two-way player.
Oh, really? That's okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know they had an award for
It
that.
was him and the first baseman from Clemson that were two of the finalists for that. I would imagine
Okay.
it's going to be Caglione that wins that one. So there you
Did
go.
Paul Skeens win that last year?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't even know it was an award until this
Me
year,
either.
honestly. So
But congratulations to those guys. That is a huge accomplishment. That's a huge award. Hopefully, somebody from LSU wins that. I would imagine that would be the case. Jack Caglione is coming back to LSU. Coming back to school next year. Let him win it next year. We've already discussed why another Florida guy who won an award as a sophomore. Like, let's not just do that. Okay, they're coming back their junior
was
year.
that?
Let them win. Let them win. Don't need any names. Okay, we don't need to talk about that. We don't
Who
need to
was
bring
it?
that up. What?
who was it?
Who was the guy who won the award that probably should have waited to his junior year to win the award? I forgot his name. I don't know.
I'm above 500 against him. I know that.
It doesn't. No. Oh, he's not a pitcher.
I wasn't talking about a pitcher.
Oh. Well,
Played a different position, but he did throw the ball a lot.
yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He plays. I think he's still playing in the big leagues. Anyways, hopefully they just let the sophomore win it when he's a junior. Let the other guys who are going to be gone this year win it.
Like college football does.
Yeah, well, the best player's supposed to win it, but if the numbers are the same, like both teams, now there's no reason to pick somebody over Florida because LSU is also in the Super Regional. It's not like they didn't make the postseason, right? Whatever. Anyway, they are.
Did you not make the postseason or something?
We did not make the postseason. That was the last show. She didn't make the postseason. We would have now in today's game.
Maybe made a run.
We would have in today's game. We would have been probably a 2 seed based off of our credentials. But then back then, there was only 8 teams made the tournament. SEC tournament, we were not 8, we were 9. It was whatever. It was a whole thing.
You don't think about it a lot.
I don't think about it. It doesn't have any space in my mind. Nuggets and Heat have game 3 tonight. Heat tied even the series with the Nuggets 1-1. They play tonight at 7:30. It is in Miami, correct? Today?
Miami flew.
First 2 is in Denver.
2-2-1-1-1.
2-2-1-1-1. That's right. So they play tonight. Obviously, I am enjoying watching it because Jimmy Butler is my favorite player. PGA and LIV. If you've been living under a rock, you haven't really been paying attention to the news. PGA and LIV have joined forces and they have merged to become one.
Symbiote.
It was controversial when LIV started. They got badmouthed a lot by the PGA Tour. They got badmouthed a lot from the players who wanted to stay loyal to the PGA Tour because they were told by the leaders of the PGA Tour that it is important to stay loyal because those guys will never be back. And the PGA Tour is what the PGA Tour is based because of the loyalty of the players and what they stand for. And it would be immoral to go and play and live with the money or where the money is coming from. All of those things. Well, LIV, without talking to Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, all the people who are at the top of golf and the faces of golf, without talking to them, PGA Tour says, we're going to merge with LIV Golf, and we're going to become one. Now all those guys that left that said that they were, aren't allowed back on the tour, all these guys got paid a lot of money and now can come back to the PGA Tour. And a lot of guys turned down a lot of money because they wanted to stay loyal to the PGA Tour. Now they're kind of getting screwed over. So it is a big shitstorm that is happening within golf. I think it is good for golf that they have figured out a way to combine because you want all the best golfers playing against each other. There's going to be a lot of animosity. I am curious to see what unfolds, like the details that come out through all of this, right? Obviously, you have some details. You don't really have all of the details. What is this going to consist of? My whole thing is, what does LIV get from this? Because they can say, we're going to merge together and we're going to be part of it, but then all of our players on the LIV Golf Tour can come back. Like, LIV doesn't want to lose their league. Maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to lose their players, but if their players can go back to the PGA Tour, of course they're going to go back. After the money's out, they're going to go back to the PGA Tour, and the LIV Golf Tour is not going to be as good. So where's the benefit on that side?
Oh, you didn't hear the Shark talk today? He said LIV's not going anywhere. He's like, we've broken the barrier. We have no reason to.
Right. So where is their benefit, right? Outside of just being legitimized, if their players can go back and forth or leave, like, what's going to happen? So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see all the details.
Talk about it later.
About it, yes, we will talk about it later. Obviously, are you talking to our guy? Is he here? Did you give him the address?
I did give him the address. I don't have his number. I have him on IG.
Tell him the code to get in whenever he gets in.
When you hear.
In other news, Zion Williamson, congratulations, you are having a baby girl. In other news with that
entanglement.
Yeah, he's in a little pickle. He is
in a pickle.
And is
as superstar
he's in a pickle jar.
You know what? Good luck, my boy. You're going to need it.
And listen, it may be someone just coming out there and just saying all kinds of stuff that's not really completely true. Some of it's probably true.
You don't put out spit in the mouth.
No,
if it's not
no, that's probably all that stuff probably happened. But the whole "you better hope I'm not pregnant too, I'm late." That sounds like a
stretch.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not saying
I'm
she's
late.
Wrong. I'm not saying she's wrong, but tough situation that is happening right now.
Not the hump day he was looking for.
He had plenty of them.
Not the hump day he was looking for. As I said again,
tough, but. I would like to see the headlines of him playing on the court, not things that have happened off the court.
That's one way to get back in shape.
Yeah. But that's it. That's a headline. It's part of the Heineken headline. It's a headline.
It's a headline.
When I get into it, I told you
What if
Jay
he doesn't
Johnson
even
is
warm up
live
for that
7:15
hamstring
today.
before that, or no?
What's that?
What if he doesn't even warm up for that hamstring before that, or no? Could be prime benefactor as to why that hamstring ain't right.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Slow down,
You gotta
coach.
stress, yeah.
Take it easy, coach.
Today, since we didn't have the actual normal show on Monday, we just had the live watch with. We're gonna have
Terrible decision by us.
We're gonna have an Ask Mikey and Mitch segment today as well. We obviously have two guests. Jay Johnson's coming on 7:15, but we're gonna talk a lot about LSU baseball throughout the course of the week. So let's break it up. We're gonna preview the game on Friday, right? There's no reason to preview it today and Friday, so we're gonna preview the game on Friday. But we are going to talk to Jay today. If you have any questions that would like to be answered, please send them in the chat, and we will answer them to the best of our abilities. But before we start talking baseball, and before we start talking everything, did y'all see? We're talking about New Orleans sports, talking about Zion a little bit. Did y'all see the tweet? There's a guy who had a tweet about DeMar Hamlin came out and like he's back live action playing, right? He's
Stretching.
Full go. The tweet was, I probably shouldn't say this, but
You're already here.
the tweet was, damn, bro died and got back on the field before
Where's
Michael
Zion?
Thomas.
Oh, Michael Thomas. It's true.
Tough.
Think about it. It's true. He's not lying about what happened. The guy got revived.
He was definitely resuscitated.
Unbelievable story, obviously. Like, I'm happy that he's back playing. But now that there's a little bit of levity to the situation, like how I use levity there. Levity to it because he's healthy is, damn, the guy went through something
Traumatic.
and is back active, full go. But
And we're still getting the same Michael Thomas
Michael
story.
Thomas comes out and said he's going to show everybody that he's back to his own self.
I heard that last year around this time.
I'd imagine he's got a little bit more motivation. Restructures deal to a 1-year deal. This is huge.
I'd imagine if he wants to continue to play football,
Exactly.
this is the one.
This is going to be a huge thing for him because he has to put himself back on the – if he's going to be a free agent, he's got to put himself back on the map as being an elite receiver going into free agency. And he's got a good quarterback.
Maybe even if he's not elite, like literally
Play.
after what 3 years now? 2 years? 3 years.
He came back last year for a brief
Yeah, but outside of that, like
3 years. This
if
will
you
be
were
his
to
third year.
let's just say if he were to miss 10 to 12 games again this year, you'd be hard pressed for someone's like Laquan Treadwell's got a job, so I'm sure he would have a job again
Does
at
he?
this point. I literally just saw that like a couple
Wow.
days ago. Somebody's got him in OTAs, about to go to camp or whatever. He's got a job, so I'm sure he would have a job again, but it won't be anything near what he's used to having if he can't put together a season this year of some sort.
agree.
I would imagine that's where he's at. So if it means anything to him, yeah, this season means a lot for him.
It means a lot.
It's a whole lot.
It means
for
a lot. I like to see him on the field. Obviously, with him on the field and the receiving core that we have, like if he's healthy, I believe that the offense is in a really good position. But we shall see. They started OTAs, so football's starting to slowly ramp up. It is June. It's really going to ramp up in August, so we have about a couple months before we really start having these football conversations. But right now it's still baseball time. And as the the college baseball season starts to wind down, right? I mean, it's still in a good. We still have
ramping
a lot.
up.
Yeah, we still have a lot of time. But at the end of June, the season's not going to be here anymore, right? And so we are going to start giving you a lot more. If you enjoy our baseball conversations here, which I believe that we are the best baseball show around, as far as college baseball, as far as LSU goes. But we're more than just LSU baseball guys. We're more than just talking about college baseball. As college baseball season goes, moves on, we are going to talk a lot more about Major League Baseball. We're going to start talking about the how do I say this? Like, we're going to start talking actual ball. Like, hey, we're going to go out and like talk what happened on the field, what is just the kinds of ins and outs of baseball. Kind of give you a little bit more content that way, as well as other things. But Why do we keep black going in and out of that? Why does that screen keep flickering on me? It's blowing me. It's messing me up. I don't like it.
So pay attention to it, man. You
It's the
block
big
out
ass.
the noise.
It's the big ass screen in front of me. It's hard not to. But I was just curious. I just didn't know. I mentioned LSU plays at 2 p.m. on Saturday. Go ahead.
Thoughts?
I don't like Saturday, Sunday, Monday series. I like the Fridays. You can't ask for all of them, obviously. And like as far as pitching goes, it helps for them to stay on track. Basically, obviously, Skeens gets an extra day's rest, but it helps the other guys stay on track as far as when they throw, when they don't throw. I just would like a night game.
That's
Like
where
a
I'm at.
postseason
with it.
night game.
I don't really the Saturday, Sunday, Monday thing doesn't bother me that much because, like, don't get me wrong, in Baton Rouge, we all know Friday there would be people here, but I still do feel like you could get people here on a Saturday and Sunday night, right? I just don't know that they're actually going to be a night game right now, right? The Saturday game is. Have we gotten a time for?
No,
the
so
Saturday?
Saturday's at 2, but Sunday's TBD.
I'm
Why
sorry,
is that?
Sunday?
Why
Okay,
is
that's
that?
what I mean. Sunday's
Why is
game.
that? Why do they do that?
Might be weather permitting.
No, they
No, I don't
don't.
think
They
it
don't. They don't do a TBD based off weather right
Yeah.
now. They do it based off of TV schedule, I think.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it's TBD based off of okay. Are they gonna maybe clinch? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know why they would not have the schedule out for the next game. But
Right. I would like a night game. The Saturday, Sunday, Monday doesn't really make a big deal to me, but I would much rather them have a night game.
And
I agree.
Speaking of
Preferably Saturday night, and that's obviously not going to happen.
what's that? I'm asking you out of sheer ignorance. I don't know.
Because,
Why
what's
is-
the
well,
because
they've
we don't
already
have a
announced it.
Friday. We don't have a. What do you mean?
Oh
why?
yeah, Saturday. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I was thinking Friday, Saturday. Sunday.
But Saturday's good for the tailgate. Saturday's good for the tailgate because we're gonna get out there early. You have, it's not football, so you don't have to be out there 5 hours tailgating. Which, if you want,
More than welcome.
more than welcome. We're gonna be out there. We're gonna set it up. We're gonna have food, the whole shebang. We're gonna be around a bunch of really awesome people, and we're gonna have fun. We're gonna tailgate for the game. We're gonna get ourselves in a good position to root on the Tigers, and then after the game, still gonna be daylight outside. Here is something that we should really lock in on, and I think it really benefits the Tigers. 2:00 start. See it? It's bugging you too now.
Yeah. I thought he was doing it at first.
2:00 start, middle of the day,
Hot as shit.
in the summer, hot as shit. I'm not worried about the heat.
I am.
What I'm worried about is
Where y'all at?
there's going to be a lot of shadows creeping in.
I'm not worried about that.
Ah.
Why? Because of the other guy.
But that's where I was getting at. So it's going to be very harder than it would have been for Kentucky. It's going to be hard regardless. But 2:00 start, there's going to be some shadows creeping in. You're facing the number one pitcher in the country.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough for them. Obviously, it's still going to be a little tough for LSU, obviously, to see some pitches, but see some balls. I think they're going to be okay. Kentucky's pitching staff's going to be a little different than they were the last time.
Hey, I can tell you this right now. Just my thoughts right now, like literally right now.
Like this second, like
This-
right now.
This second.
Like
right
not
here.
tomorrow's thoughts, not
As I'm
yesterday's
sitting
thoughts.
here in this UPS outfit, I do think that what you're going to see
What could Brown do
is
for you?
for the
can
remainder
Brown do for you?
for the remainder of the season, when you see Paul Skeens go as a starter, expect to see small ball. I really, truly, truly do think that. I think, especially in a short series or in a one-game situation where it's every run is at a super premium when he's on the mound, expect to see Jay try to take advantage of every situation that they get with runners on. I truly, truly do think that. Instead of seeing situations where you're going to see him try to pop balls. In my mind, what I saw, right, when they played Tulane last week, and you saw a lot of that situation come up, to me, that told me that he thought if we could just get these runs, he's going to throw and do his part, and we'll be in a good spot. So I personally, for the remainder of the season when he's pitching, expect to see more small ball than you saw him play all year.
I agree. The good thing about Skeens is he is very, equipped to handle that, right? He's super quick off the mound. He's super athletic. I'm not worried about his fielding abilities, but I'm looking at his numbers, right? Because the big thing is he going to break the record? Is he going to break the strikeout record, which is 202 strikeouts? As we speak right now, he has 99 innings pitched, and he has 179 strikeouts. Okay? He needs 23 strikeouts to tie the record.
Yeah. 23.
That would be if he has another 12 strikeout game, he only needs 11 to tie it. 12. He needs two starts of 12 strikeouts to break the record. Now, I think he can get that, obviously. If they go to Omaha, they have to go to Omaha, obviously, for him to get two starts.
With 3 pitching appearances,
he's going to have, if they make a run in Omaha, he'll have 3 starts. I think that 3 starts, no doubt, happening.
Most likely with under 120 innings thrown.
Yeah. So even if he goes, he's got 99 innings pitched. Even if he goes, if he goes 8 innings.
If he goes 7-7.
Yeah, if he goes 7 innings,
7 and
21, that'll be 120 innings pitched.
7-7 and somehow throws another 3.
Yeah.
You're still looking at 117-ish, 116-ish.
Yeah. So I think he does do it. I mean, they got to get to Omaha, but I think he does.
Imagine what that number would be too if he didn't have a 3-inning rainout start in South Carolina. If he didn't have 85 pitches through 3 and something in the SEC tournament, he might have broken it already. Which is because remember the South Carolina game, he had 8 Ks in 3 innings.
Well, I think the big one was SEC because he only had 3 strikeouts that game.
I know, but you know what I'm saying. So that's 2 games right there where there was
Lost
3
start.
innings and there was really nothing that he did wrong to be quote unquote pulled after 3.
No doubt.
So you know what I mean. It's crazy to think that he's still with an opportunity to do that with those 2 starts on the book still.
The other thing is Dylan Cruz is 1 percentage point above the average record at LSU. For a single season.
Sit him.
Yeah. 430. Yeah, sit him.
Save
that. So 431 is the average. The record is Rafe Rhymes. He is at 432. Do we think he breaks the record?
Well, if this past weekend was a precursor at all, I say yeah.
I say yes too. I absolutely say yes. I think he's gotten to the point where he's back to where he needs to be. He's hot. And I think he's going to have an outrageous postseason. He has, 2 home runs in the regional?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if he hit 3 or 4. He's going to have a big postseason. And it's going to be one of those things that –
Lore.
Yeah. And that's what you need. If he wants to go down as the greatest player ever in the history of LSU, it's going to be hard for me to say that, yes, he is that guy now. I think he's top 3, probably top 2. Position players. It's hard for me, as I've looked at it through the course of the year, it's hard for me to put him over Todd right now. Just because Todd's won national championships, Todd's numbers.
Been MVP in a national championship.
Yeah. Todd's numbers are better overall. Dylan Cruz may be more talented, obviously. Now, if Dylan goes out and has a deep run and has an unbelievable postseason and they win a national championship, all right, but, being top 2 or top 3 all time at LSU, he's okay with that, I'd imagine.
It's a good spot to be.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
I've heard of worse spots.
Yeah, me too. Definitely worse spots.
Our guy's here. We'll get a
Okay.
break real quick and let me
All right, yep, take a 30-second break. Let's get our guy, Michael Anderson, into the studio. Michael Anderson from Boot Up Customs is in studio. Talk about his story, talk about what got into this, and talk about what goes into his designs. All right, you're watching Mik'd Up. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Dozy Place is located on 3723 Government Street. Everybody knows about their world famous steaks and their hot tamales, but what you may not know is that they're open for lunch every day from 11 to 2. Great people, great environment. Their lunch menu is fire. What's the best thing on the menu?
If you haven't tried it yet, you need to try the burger. Unbelievable. Best burger in town.
Best burger in town. If you're looking for lunch, 11 to 2 at Dozy Place. Again, they're located on 3723 Government Street. Give them a shot. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. As we mentioned before the break, we have Michael Anderson, creator, owner, designer, mastermind
Consigliere.
of. Stop using big words. I do
He
not.
had
know.
to. He
had to.
It's been on the damn ticker. Like, we get it. He's
Yeah.
been wanting to say this so bad. He just couldn't let it just run across.
Couldn't
the
let it
screen.
go. Michael Anderson, thank you for coming on the show. Baton Rouge native. Do you still live in Baton Rouge?
No, I live in Austin right now.
You live in Austin. Nice. A little more creative thinking out there, right? A little artistic.
It's kind of forward thinking.
Yeah, exactly. Like think about you get a little more inspiration probably than being out here. But lifelong LSU fan, obviously. You are the guy behind all of this cleats that Dylan Cruz and Paul Skeens and all those guys have. How did this start? What went into this? I'd imagine that this has kind of been a progression for you. Give us your story, man. How did you get into this?
Yeah, man. And thanks, guys, for having me. So I started doing art. Well, I did art growing up. So actually, my grandmother lived in Lafayette.
Boom, love that.
So, yes, sir. So I used to do it for the summers with her. I'd paint whenever we'd go over there for a few weeks at a time in the summer. And then, there were other artists in Baton Rouge that kind of got that ball rolling. And then
Who are some of those guys?
So like Jacob Zumo.
Yep.
Yeah, my guy.
Catholic High guy too, right?
Yeah, I think he was Dunham too, but
Okay.
at some point.
That's how you know you're truly Catholic High if you get kicked out.
Oh, he didn't say that.
Yeah, you have to transition.
Yeah. Be careful with that.
What?
That's
So then in 2008, or actually in 2014 or 15, I did a painting for Leonard Fournette and his daughter. So that was
Nice.
like the first thing post high school that I did. And I realized how much access there was to LSU athletes. I mean, he'd just be sitting out in the quad, right?
Right.
And then I talked to Odell about doing a pair of cleats, but at the time LSU wasn't like letting people do stuff like that. They couldn't take gifts, and I'd never really done it before.
Right.
So in 2018, whenever Wade Sims was killed, I had some mutual friends with Skylar Mays.
Mm-hmm.
So I reached out to Skylar. I knew that was the exact time. I was like, we got to do this. So we did a sneaker that he got to wear in the LSU, and it was like the last game of the season against Vanderbilt to commemorate Wade Sims. So that was pretty cool, and that was the first one that I got to do.
Nice. And then after that, it just kind of progressed. So that was 18. And then did you, like, every year after that, or when did you really start saying, you know what, I think this is something that I'm really going to, like, try to hone in on and grow?
Yeah, so the next year I did some cleats for Jamar Chase, and then just building ever since. I worked with Jaden Hill, worked with a lot of the LSU guys, worked with the Denver Broncos because I was living in Denver at the time. And then really just, word of mouth and networking with a lot of the LSU athletes, and been able to do a lot of those since then.
And so now with baseball, you have Dylan Cruz and Skeens, right? Do you do any other cleats for any other guys on the team?
Yeah, so on Friday I'm giving a pair of cleats to Tommy White and Trey Morgan as
Let's
well
go.
for the Supers.
nice.
How does that work, right? So, like, what goes into, like, the cleats? So you talk to them, they contact you, or you contact them, however y'all get there, and you say, hey, look, I want these types of cleats. This is what I want on them. Do y'all, like, go back and forth, or do you say, hey, this is the idea, do you like it? And then they kind of put their input.
Yeah, so it's mostly, a lot of them will have some kind of idea of what they want, and then they'll kind of let me do my thing. The ones that I did for Skeens with the K-Lady sign and the Powerhouse logo, he didn't really know. He asked me to do something that was going to kind of bring the team together, that was about the program, not just his season, but then, the legacy of LSU baseball. So that's where we got the K-Lady signs and the Powerhouse. A lot of times, I don't really show the design until I give them the cleats, because I just want that element of surprise whenever I give it to them. But I definitely will collaborate with the athlete, and they'll give me certain details that they want on it.
When you're getting these certain details, and then you're kind of given the freedom to kind of just freestyle and do your thing, where do you draw the inspiration from? Like what thoughts, what past experiences, what comes through for you?
You have to understand, I'm the least artistic person in the world, so I have no idea.
No, this is the most artistic room you've ever been in.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's a great question. And And I think actually that's what separates me. I mean, there's a million guys that can do cleats, right? But what separates me is, you know, I'm not really just trying to put out as many cleats as I possibly can, right? I'm taking small, special, intimate projects that I want to work on. And really, it just from the last 30 years of my life, man. You know, I grew up in Baton Rouge. I'm an LSU alum. Both my brothers went to LSU. Both my parents went to LSU. So, you know, what other artists can't do and can't recreate is the last 30 years of my life growing up as a Tiger fan, right? I mean, I bring it back to whenever I was really small and really little, and we would stay at the team hotel for football bowl games, and we're just waiting in the lobby to meet the players and get pictures, right? I mean, I've got a picture with basically everyone growing up.
Right.
I think I even have one with you, Mike.
Let's
back
go.
in the day.
Let's go.
But, you know, I remember where I was in 09 when you guys won. You know, we run outside the house, we're running around the neighborhood, you know, ripped our shirts off and everything. So,
That's so great.
I think it really is just, you know, being a diehard Tiger fan the last time. And, you know, I'm working with a lot of different universities and pro teams and whatever, but the LSU projects are the ones that mean the most to me.
So from Baton Rouge, now live in Austin. I mean, that's got to be the most interesting city to live in when it comes to rooting for LSU, especially if you fall into a bar for a game or something. How's that? I'm sure you get a lot about that.
Well, and actually, so I live downtown in Austin. There's a bar called Rustic Tap across the street, which is an LSU bar, right? So that's perfect. So they have a lot of the games on and stuff. But I actually grew up going to summer camp in East Texas. So I kind of got a little bit of that whenever I was younger.
Yeah.
But don't tell UT, but I'm horns down. So.
I like that. There you go. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. So, are you strictly like cleats and shoes and sneakers now, or is it more like, hey, you still do some stuff like on canvas and like, you know, different canvases or whatever? Like, how does that all work with you? Like, what's your, I guess, and what's your like ambitions? Like, where do you want to go from here?
Yeah, so I definitely still do stuff on canvas, and I do custom cut pieces of wood. I did a project this past October with the rapper The Kid Leroy. Got a bunch of cool stuff planned. Trying to do a painting for Jack Harlow this summer. So
Nice.
And then I'm also going to be putting out T-shirts and hoodies and a clothing line under the Boot Up Customs umbrella, which I'm going to start doing that this summer, which really excited about that. And then, you know, as far as where I want to take it, a lot of it is, you know, I want to do NIL stuff, right? I want to get as involved with the players as I can. And really, I'm in the relationship business, right? So I've got all these great contacts, and I meet people, you know, when they're at LSU, like Dylan. I'm going to be working with Dylan, you know, the rest of his career, which is really cool. So I do want to get involved with NIL and hopefully be able to, you know, to make money with my brand, but then also help the athletes make money as well.
How did you get involved with Dylan, right? Did you just message him? Did you have a mutual friend, or just one of those things like, hey, bro, I can do these cleats for you, you know, let's collaborate?
Yeah, so with Dylan, I think I reached out to him on Instagram at the beginning of last season. You know, obviously I knew how good of a player he was, and I mean, what's crazy about Dylan is he's even more special of a dude.
Great
right?
dude.
I mean, he's like one of the best guys that I've met.
Can't be overstated.
No, right.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's small things that I've been able to see kind of behind the scenes that not everybody else has seen about things that he'll do to take care of people.
Like
you
what?
know?
Can you give us some examples?
Yeah, so there's an artist in Baton Rouge that my buddy Joseph Turpin did a painting for Dylan. And in the painting, he actually put my cleats, the custom cleats that I did in the painting. And so he sent it to me, and he didn't really want to ask for a favor for me to like send it to him, but I'm like, well, of course I'm gonna send it to him, right? So he met up with Dylan at the field, and Dylan brought a pair of game-worn cleats and signed them and gave them to him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right, and took pictures with like his nephew, and just like little things like that he does, just to go, you know, above and beyond. And you know, a lot of guys that I've worked with when they're NFL or they're big time, they just kind of expect stuff all the time. But with Dylan, you know, you can tell that it means a lot to him, and you know, we've got a great relationship, and like I said, looking forward to working with him in the future.
Man, I wish we were able to do this kind of stuff when we were here.
Right?
We
That wasn't a
hey,
thing.
black and white cleats, bro. That's no custom cleats, no nothing.
Well,
it was the same way in the big leagues too for a long time, so that wasn't really a thing.
I used to, and when I was in Tampa, they used to have a rule when I first got there, especially in the minor leagues, that you had to have it has to be majority black. So I went to the Arizona Fall League my first year, and my cleats had the white toe. They made me shoe polish them and paint it black. Brutal.
You got Friday Night Lights?
Brutal. Yeah. No swag.
It's the thing.
Terrible.
The White Sox were strong about that too. Like it was like a black cleats. Like couldn't really do white. You couldn't do white cleats. Like it wouldn't even let you do it. The only team at that time that they were letting do it when I first got in the game was Oakland. Nobody else could do it.
Well, that's another thing. I mean, it's just perfect timing with what I'm doing with NIL and with the way that all worked out.
Now, if people wanted to, like, are you offering it to just athletes, or somebody wanted to contact you and buy a pair of custom cleats or custom, sneakers or whatever? Is it possible for somebody to get from you or no?
So
I'm not doing it by like request only.
Yeah, like, I'm not really taking commissions right now, and the cleats take between 18 and 24 hours to do, so it takes a lot of time. So really what I'm just doing right now is taking, the projects that are going to help me move the brand, and then also working with guys that I really want to work with.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I will have stuff that's available for sale to the public, not cleats specifically, but other stuff, because, I have people all the time ask how can they support the brand or help me or whatever, and it's really that way, and then obviously like engaging on social media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, you say from 18 to 24 hours, but that's like actually, like putting the work into it. As far as like inception of the idea until finished product, how long does that take?
Yeah, so it's longer, right? So I spent a lot of time designing everything on my iPad on Procreate beforehand. So I'm not even counting that, and then there's a lot of prep work and all that kind of stuff. So, I can, right now I'll have a bunch of orders at a time where I can do all the prep work and everything and kind of assembly line it. But yeah, it's up to 30 hours on some of the cleats.
Is it just you, or do you have any help?
Just me right now, man.
Wow, that's impressive.
One man band, baby.
That's impressive. How you do it, dude? That's how that's impressive.
Well, and that's the thing is I don't really want to hire anybody else to do it. Now, as far as like fulfillment of orders and that kind of thing, sure, I'll get a little bit of help.
That's completely different.
But the cleats that you're gonna get, the cleats that athletes are gonna get, they're coming from me, right? So I'm gonna create all the designs, I'm gonna paint them, I'm gonna do everything.
Damn. What can we do for you? Like, how can we help you out? How can we help promote this? Because I like this kind of stuff. Like, I like people from Baton Rouge doing big things. We've talked about this I talked about it the other day. So one of my best friends is Matt Fury. He's an extremely, extremely intelligent person. He's a doctor. He's an orthopedic surgeon, went to Harvard, first of his class, whole deal. And like, when people are from Louisiana that went to LSU, you want to be able to bring them back, like the talent back. And the talent's not just athletes. It's people who are doctors and lawyers and artists and all these people, and you want them to be able to come back to Baton Rouge so that they can build Baton Rouge to be what it is.
And if they can't be back, at least have involvement.
Exactly, right? So, like, I love trying to be able to push this and promote it. So, like, whatever we can do, man, to help you push it, like, I know you're not fulfilling orders, but, like, I'll pay for some custom sneakers, and I'll just have them sit right here on the desk the entire time.
We could definitely do something for the show.
There you go.
That's what I would love that.
And then like what you're saying, like I have so much state pride, right? I've been all over, and there's nothing like Louisiana. That's what keeps me coming back, and that is why my brand is Boot Up Customs, right? I want it to be Louisiana and LSU centric because that's home. That's what I care about the most.
No doubt. I mean, like, there's a reason why people that I've played with that aren't from here are now from here, if that makes sense, right? Like, Anthony Renato's from New Jersey. Far, far away from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. His home is Baton Rouge, Louisiana now. Micah Gibbs from Pflugerville, Texas, right outside Austin. His home now is Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Sean Ochinko from Miami, Florida. His home now is Baton Rouge, Louisiana, right? And I can go down the list of all these other people that are not from here, but have made their life here, right? And that tells a lot about what Louisiana is and the people that come from here. And so yeah, man, I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's a special place for sure. And actually, when LSU baseball went to Austin early in the season for the Round Rock Classic, Dylan and Tommy, a couple guys, came over to my apartment. We made a big art piece out of the cleats that Dylan wore. The thing is crazy. And I was talking to him just about the journey and why he came to LSU and didn't enter the draft or whatever, and he kind of said the same things, and he didn't even know it yet, but he wanted a place to this support system, and if he is in the minors for a little while, just have a home base and all these people that support him, and like I said, Louisiana is a special place, man.
No doubt,
definitely,
no doubt.
Well, it seems like that's what kind of kept you here, like especially for somebody like you that. I mean, I can resonate with this. They were obviously athletes, but they feel the same way about LSU to where they didn't look at anywhere else except for Mikey trying to go to Alabama. But other than that, like whenever you get your feet set here, and I feel like we're relative in this term.
He was about to go to South Carolina. Save it.
Finish your statement. Though,
Yeah,
Lauren. Just
okay,
go
yeah,
ahead,
we'll get
keep
into
going.
that later. I didn't know that.
He told you that 5 times.
I told him that, but I'm glad he didn't remember. Just go ahead, keep burying
Oh,
him.
it's in there now.
Yeah, just keep burying him.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, Bama and South Carolina are two different things. South Carolina's not even on the register.
Yeah, that's
But
not,
for
it's not
people-
true when I was there.
For people like us, where it's like you're almost a fan first, and so to be able to come back to LSU and be able to ingratiate yourself here and be able to make almost a lane for yourself with LSU, it seems like that's what you're more interested in. It's not almost about, of course, you want to grow the brand, but it feels like you want to help LSU first.
Oh yeah, I mean it all comes back to LSU, and even I live in Austin, which is a lot.
But
closer.
you're here right now.
It's a lot closer than Denver is, right?
Yeah.
That's for sure. So it's a quick flight or a 6.5 hour drive, so it's not that far. I'm here all the time. My family still lives here, so it's always good to see them as well when I come back. But yeah, the end goal is I want to be a part of the program. I want to be a part of the athletic department. I want to help with recruiting. I want to help with NIL. I just want to be around it, right? I just want to go to the games and have a good time with all that.
So basically, what you're telling me is you've built a business that you want to be pipeline
Into LSU.
through something that hits near and dear for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, and growing up, my whole life revolved around LSU sports. I went to every single LSU home football game since I was 9 months old until I moved to Denver.
So what brought you to Denver?
Work, just trying to pay the bills, man.
I said, so like, is being an artist and drawing and painting, is that all like that's your like? It's not like your side hustle. Like it is your deal. Like this is.
So I don't want to call it my side hustle because it's what's most important to me.
Right.
I do have I'm in sales, so I do have a job.
I get that. Trust me, I understand it.
Yeah, but actually it's a pretty cool schedule. So we're on the blitz model. So I work in the solar industry. So we work for 10 days at a time, and then the other 20 I've got to devote to my art business.
Oh wow.
So
That's impressive.
Yeah, I'm lucky. It kind of fell into my lap. I studied engineering at LSU. Wasn't really a fan. I was overworked, underpaid.
Thermal?
And I was trying to paint, not be an engineer.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I got some friends trying to get into the solar business.
It's crazy, man. Honestly,
I bet. I mean, he's trying to like install panels and do all kinds. It's crazy. It's a crazy deal.
It's huge in Colorado. They've been doing that for
Well,
a
it's huge.
minute.
I mean, it's getting big everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of like their farms and stuff and like solar farms, right? And that's what it's called. They're solar, not farms, but whatever. They have this whole thing of solar panels. I don't know how it works, dude.
Don't overextend yourself.
This isn't my forte. If it needs to be insured, I can do that.
You're no Joe Rogan right now.
I can insure it. That's about all I know. I don't know anything else.
Turn them towards the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then one last thing that I wanted to say before I forget. So I got to go to the games this weekend, and then on I guess it was on the Sunday game that had the rain delay. So we were against Oregon State. So we're down 3-0. Mm-hmm. We have the rain delay. They start playing again. The cleats that I did for Dylan for that weekend were the Cruz Missile 2.0. So we did something similar last year, and then I've gotten a lot better. I had a cooler idea, so we did it again this year.
Is that Dylan?
Don't tell him about my damn
Yeah, right.
3.0 coming soon.
So I'm sitting up in the suite. Shout out to my guys Zach and Steve Cody for inviting me to the suite.
There you go.
And Dylan comes up to bat, right? And Pearson's on third, and then he hits a home run, a Cruz Missile in the Cruz Missile cleats.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Right. It doesn't get any better than that. I got goosebumps talking about
And
it.
he went hyped. That was the most hyped I've ever seen him on the field, which was awesome.
Yeah, he doesn't show too much emotion on the
Yeah.
field, but he's rounding first base. He's beating his chest. I mean, and the pictures the LSU baseball posted are so sick, right?
Yeah.
So that at the end of the day, like that's what I do it for, right? Like those kind of moments right there, and seeing Dylan come through. He's the best player I've ever seen come through when the team needed him, and that's what changed the game. Just for my cleats to be just a tiny part of that in the journey of the season just is really special.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Yep. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's how it should be, man.
That's how you create a community, man.
No
It's
doubt.
not like, like he hasn't played a day of LSU athletics, but he has a sense of pride because he has involvement in it, no matter how big or small someone else may see it. And that's what matters the most, man, because what you do should matter to you, right? At the end of the day, you would hope so. You would hope you were doing something that actually moves you and actually pushes you to go higher than something that's just kind of paying the bills.
People see you or whoever else that has passion about something that they do, like they gravitate towards that, right? Because that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to be passionate about whatever it is that they're doing or they like to see somebody do things that they are passionate for, and that just kind of gravitates good energy towards you. So that's I'm fired up for you, man. I'm a fan, obviously, of your work. I'm a fan of you now that I've actually got to meet you. And man, like I said, anything that we can do to ever help and promote, and I'm gonna take you up on us collaborating, trying to get some shoes for the show, so we can. I'll pay whatever I do. I just I'll pay here, put them on for you.
Booze Cruise isn't small.
Huh?
The Booze Cruise isn't small.
What do you mean the Booze Cruise?
I mean, maybe some Booze Cruise commission shoes. I'm just saying. Maybe cleats.
Some Booze Cruise, yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm just saying. There's more than just the cruise missile out there.
He likes it because he created the Booze Cruise. Actually, did you come up with the name? You did. You did.
LLC.
He did. He came up with the Booze Cruise, but the whole reason is because Lloyd likes to drink. And so every time he hits a home run, Lloyd chugs a beer, takes a shot, and it's the Booze Cruise.
That's easy to make. Just do a Homer Simpson on him.
That's it. Well, dude, like I said, anytime you ever back in town, you want to come on the show and shoot the shit with us. Anytime you want to go, we'll go grab drinks or whatever. Like I said, we'll talk about what we can do to help promote, what you got going on. But man, like I said, we're a big fan. We appreciate you coming on the show, and hopefully, are you gonna be here next weekend? This weekend?
Unfortunately, not.
No.
I gotta get back.
He's got work, dude. 10 days on.
But I will say, and likewise, guys, and like I said, I grew up watching you guys play, so that was pretty awesome. 2009 baseball season meant a lot to me as a kid. So,
It was pretty good to us.
That was awesome. But yeah, I would love to do all that stuff, and like I said, I appreciate you guys having me.
Man,
and then we'll have some. Trey Morgan will be in some Mardi Gras themed cleats.
Oh, okay.
The Super Regional.
There you go.
And then Tommy White, we did some Tanks themed cleats.
Oh, I like that.
Giving it to him on Friday. So
Hell yeah.
those.
He's a little bit of mojo going his way.
That's what we need.
Love that.
Use some tanks.
Love that, man.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. Can't wait to watch him. Appreciate you coming on the show, and we'll stay in touch. We're going to take a minute break, get Michael out of here, and we'll be right back. You're watching Mik'd Up. We'll be back to you in 1 minute. No, I appreciate you, man. Those are your Heineken headlines. Heineken has been an unbelievable sponsor for us, right? I understand some people may not like Heineken, and that's okay. Tell me that. Good shot. Heineken just came out with the Heineken Silver. And if you have not liked Heineken in the past, that's okay. Heineken Silver doesn't taste anything like the other Heineken beers. Heineken is their light beer. It is 95 calories. It is 4% alcohol. It tastes very good. It's very crisp. Sit back, relax, open up a Heineken Silver. Enjoy baseball season coming up. Enjoy the LSU Tigers. Enjoy some women's basketball. If you're watching it at home, pop open a Heineken Silver. Because I'll tell you this, and look, Heineken's a sponsor of us, and I am very happy and honored that they are a sponsor. I did not really enjoy Heineken in my previous times drinking Heineken. I have learned to like it a little bit. Some people like it. Tell you what, I drank this Heineken Silver and I enjoyed it. I got a couple cases delivered to my house today actually, and I'm enjoying it. So go ahead, go try a Heineken Silver. It's their new product. It's their new beer. It's their new line. It is very light, 95 calories, 4% alcohol. It tastes really good. Try it. Thanks, Jack. That was nice. We didn't even practice that. First time. All right. But before we go into our break, I want to give a shout out to, like I said, we talk about us getting new partners, new sponsorships all the time. We have a new sponsor, and you've probably seen them on the top left corner in the little spinner logo. FCO Solutions. Our friends on at FCO, they're out of Lafayette. They're a civil construction company. They specialize in new multi-family construction. All right. If you don't know what civil construction is, it's okay. Probably a lot of people don't understand it. They basically get the land ready to be built vertically, right? I'm giving you a little bit of a construction lesson here. I don't know much about it. I've learned it on the go, right? They specialize in site drainage, site utilities, earthworks, site cleaning, house pads, ponds, demo work, and hurricane cleanup. So they do anything that involves dirt, basically, or the earth. And a lot of that gets done before, it has to be done before you are building whatever development you are trying to build. So our friends at EFCO have been fans of the show. They are really, really good people. They're down there in Lafayette. If you know anybody from Lafayette, You do know me. J. Mitch is from New Iberia. I'll consider that Lafayette's 337 area code.
There you go.
337 area code. They are unbelievable people. They do a very, very, very good job, and they are committed to growing and being the best at what they do. So I just want to give a shout out to our friends at EVCO. I know that they listen. Appreciate you guys. We are going to be great partnerships.
Headline.
Maybe you can have. Are you gonna have a Heineken Silver for the game? Maybe.
I kind of want one now.
You gonna shotgun another one?
You want another? I don't know if you should shotgun because we still had that one last time.
I don't know. I feel like you got to redeem yourself.
You can have a drink. I don't think you should shotgun it.
The way
Okay,
it went,
I'll enjoy this one.
I think you should chug it, but maybe not shotgun it.
the way it went last time, it's
Yeah, I could do. I mean, I
can't
can
sip
do
it.
anything. I know. All right, fuck it.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Go for it. There.
Oh, that's much
There you
better.
go.
1, 2,
Open it up a little bit. You know what I
4,
mean?
5, 6, 7, 8,
Okay.
9,
Okay. So
10,
now it's starting to drip. Now
11,
you're struggling a little bit.
12,
It's pretty good.
13. It's not bad.
I'll give you
Not
a 13. 12 and a half seconds there. How was it? Was it good?
Delicious. You
It was
can't
very
do that
With a regular one.
with a regular one.
Right.
You can only do that with the silver.
The silver, why? Because the silver's lighter. It's got
Lighter.
95 calories. It's pretty crisp.
I
Now,
res-
that wasn't even cold. I know you don't necessarily need a cold beer. That was room temp.
That's
But
the
I respect
fraternity
how
days
quickly
in me.
you turned around and gave me a full sentence. That was quick.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
that.
No
Officer,
doubt.
I'm fine.
You've been, look, you've been
Walk the
around
straight
before.
line, kid.
Yeah.
You've been around before, but
It's just breakfast.
It's a very good beer.
It
It's a
is.
very light beer. It's something that you could
Easy to drink.
easy to drink,
Easy to pour.
Yeah. But it's something that I think it should be in the rotation at tailgates, especially with LSU baseball coming up. We'll get into some of the LSU baseball conversation. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. If you're just joining in, you missed Michael Anderson, who is the creator and owner and mastermind consigliere of Boot Up Customs. All the really cool cleats that you see Dylan Cruz and all the guys wear. He is the guy behind it. He is growing his business, growing his name. I got a lot of shit going on back here. There we go. Growing his name. Great conversation. Baton Rouge native, lives in Austin, but loves LSU, and we were happy to have him on. Jay Johnson has come.
Sneak peek.
Got a little sneak peek of what to see this weekend. Look forward to watching it and seeing it actually on the guys' feet, and hopefully it gives both those guys need a little spark offensively. Hopefully that's what happens, right? A little swag, look good, play good, look good, feel good, play good. That's the way it works.
Get paid good.
What's that?
Get paid good.
Get paid good. Hopefully they all get paid good. Jay Johnson is coming on our show in 18 minutes. Why are you going to him as he's texting? He's exposing you. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I'm not even gonna look up now.
Unbelievable.
Hey, do your job over there.
What's
wrong with you right now?
Jay Johnson's coming on 18 minutes or 17 minutes now. We talked about it being Ask Mikey and Mitch Day. Ask Mikey and Mitch is brought to you by our friends down at EVCO Development. EVCO Development is a civil construction company that specializes in new multifamily construction, site drainage, site utilities, earthworks, site clearing, house pads, ponds, hurricane cleanup, anything that really has to do with dirt that gets the ground ready for vertical construction. EVCO Development is they're out of Lafayette, but they travel. They are great people. If you're looking for that type of work and you're looking for some help with that type of work, give them a call. Call Tyler today at 337-534-4675. Again, that number is 337-534-4675. Before we get to our Jay Johnson interview, we're going to answer some questions. Do we have any questions?
We have a ton.
Okay, boom. I was hoping so. Let's hear them.
All right. Let me get to the way to fire them in. I was just adding a couple to the queue, and here we go. So, let me view the queue. God. Whew. Boys are popping today. Okay, first one up.
We're popping.
Popping.
Waiting on the question, dude. Who are you want me to do?
It's like Jerry was acting like he was a 2-year-old that just found his hands for the first time. 6 months old. Like, what is going on?
My brother didn't realize that he was in control of his body until he was like 8 years old. And he admitted that the other day. And it was kind of terrifying.
That is kind of terrifying.
But coming up from Ask Him Them, maybe Ask Jay, we probably will not. Do you hold the same batting lineup as it's been for the past 2 weeks? If not, who do we shuffle around?
I think they keep the same, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't think that there's no reason to change it. I feel like the lineup, the way it's constructed, gives you length in the lineup top to bottom. You can, any guy in the lineup can go up top at any time. Your 9-hole hitter is one of your hottest hitters at the time right now. So I think that the lineup's constructed really well, and I think he likes the way that they mix and match the defense with it.
I think as far as for this lineup, like, I won't be surprised at all if over a 2 to 3 game span this weekend, if you see a little bit of shuffling. But I think that is stuff that is coach specific, that is very, very, very scouting reports specific, and stuff that we may not know about what's going on with the other team and stuff like that. And from the outside looking in, I think it's fair to say that this team, no matter how the lineup has been constructed throughout the year, has been very, very, very productive. So I would believe that you kind of just go out there and believe in who you can see, right? Like we've seen this past weekend, if we don't have a Josh Pearson in the lineup, we may not win the way we did, right? His numbers on the year aren't the best. So I think there is enough reason to have confidence in anybody that's put in the lineup this weekend, and the way it's constructed. We'll see how things kind of, shake and go. But I don't care pretty much what the lineup is this weekend. My personal thoughts, you would literally have to put someone in who hasn't played in a month for me to be like, yo, what the hell's
going on?
Right. Other than that, it doesn't really matter that much. Because I don't expect to see somehow Dylan hitting sixth and somehow Joe Bear leading off. Not that Joe Bear couldn't lead off. But, like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't expect to see all of that
A major
going on.
shuffle.
Yeah.
I don't expect to see that. I realistically, as a starter on Saturday, I don't expect to see Bear Jones. Like, something like that would have to go on for me to be like, yo, what's up? Other than that, no, I'm good.
Next one up, ask Mikey and Mitch. How do you guys prepare throughout the week for the Supers versus UC Irvine back in 2009?
This is a Jared question because the Irvine
was
Super was in 08.
Yeah.
I'm just
I know what you're saying. So, if you're going to go to the 09 question, if you want us to both answer the 09 question, it was Rice.
Yeah.
At the time.
Was that Augie?
No.
No, he was at Texas?
Yep.
Wayne.
That
was Wayne. Wayne Graham. Still at Rice.
Not anymore.
What?
He was. I thought you said he's still at Rice.
No. At that time, yeah.
Yeah, he's like 95 now.
He was like 95 then.
Yeah. But it was Rice. You want to just start it?
How did we prepare for him?
I remember how I prepared, but go ahead. We prepared as a team.
Well, first off, there was the draft going on, so that was a little weird.
I actually had a conversation about the draft the other day.
Yeah, the draft
yesterday.
at that time
It
was
fell-
during Supers week.
Yeah, but it fell in between, like
Depending on when you left.
Yeah, the
but
prep
that's what I'm saying. Like
of-
it was like the back half of that week, so it was kind of like going into the weekend. I remember us being very, very, very loose. There was actually an incident that we had where we actually I want to say the last practice. This is in 09 too. The last practice is pretty much the one that's open to the media. Before the weekend, we decided as a team that it was
hot.
It was hot as shit. We decided as a team that weekend that it was a good idea. This was not at all in any type of way part of coach's idea or thoughts or suggestions. But we decided as a team, hey, it's really hot. Let's just have a shirt off practice. On the quote unquote media day before that.
Suns out, guns out, dude. That's what it is.
So it was that's how we prepared, if you will.
So we had about 5 or 6 guys do it, then everybody else started doing it. By the time coach came out, the whole team had it off. He said, all right, screw it. Keep them all.
Yeah. So I guess
had a great practice too.
I guess the way you prepare is not to be just gotta stay loose, you know?
You gotta keep
finding
you
ways to keep guys the same and not be uptight and but this is all while understanding too. We really thought that Super, for whatever the reason was, like we played well, I guess. But we really thought that Super was going to be a really tough one. It ended up not being that tough, and we kind of won
the first 2 games, yeah,
very decidingly, right? But we was like, yeah, that's good. This is a tough team to come in.
We felt like we got screwed. We felt like Rice had a legitimate chance to host, and they obviously came here, and we, like you said, we took the first 2 games and we beat them, but it wasn't like it was easy games. Like it was battles, but I think coach allowed us to keep our personality as a team, and I think that's important. So to answer, like, how do you prep? I think you prep by keeping the same personality that you've had the entire year, right? If the team was like could play loose and be loose and still lock it in, like that's the personality. You don't want to change it and get them uptight because if you're trying to be something that you're not.
Or even, I honestly think, like, when you get to this time of the year, like, you should know your team. And I think finding ways to keep them loose but still on task is how you prepare for these situations. Because the last thing you want is there has to be a heightened sense of understanding where you are in the year, but being able to approach that in a very calm way is where you want to be, right? And that's a tough thing to do. So understanding that as a coach and finding ways to do it for your team, I think is the best way to get a great performance out of them.
No doubt. What? Why are you laughing?
There's a couple good questions in here, so I'm just reading through them all. I'm trying to get one that isn't, a lot of people hit on the same things, so that's fair because, everybody wants to get their questions in, which I love. Ask Mikey and Mitch, what would y'all's batting percentage be off of Paul Skeens and 10 ABs? Are you talking about now or 2000-ish?
Well, 2000-ish.
2000-ish would be 0.
No.
2000?
Late 2000s.
I wasn't going to get a hit off of Paul Skeens at 10 years old.
Well, what if he was not?
Oh, yeah, he was.
Yeah, he's a baby.
Actually, he wouldn't have been able to get the ball over the plate. I'd have rocked him. That's true. That's so hard to determine.
What would you compare him to that you faced maybe in college?
In college?
Anything?
I'll tell you. My best comparison I've faced in college probably for him is Alex Meyer from Kentucky, actually. Alex Meyer was 6'9", and he was 97 to 100 in college with a 92-mile-an-hour slider.
Okay. Well, I remember facing Alex Meyer, and he was really good. I remember facing James Paxton, and he was really good.
Yeah.
My closest one I got is David Price, my freshman year. He was still at Vanderbilt.
And I didn't get to face him. I just said Alex Meyer because he's a big righty at those hard. I never faced David Price.
But to be honest with you, and this is just me being completely honest, I actually loved. I don't know, dude. Like, you give me a 10 at bat sample, and I might square up 5 balls, and they may all be outs. You give me another 10 at bat sample, I might square up 4 balls, and I may have 6 hits because who knows? That question really, it's hard to answer that. But I will tell you this: I really enjoyed hitting against pitchers who I knew enjoyed the competition side of it, who I knew wasn't up there trying to pitch around the zone in a sense, who I knew
was going
to attack me. I truly enjoyed hitting against guys like that.
Me too.
So if you're asking me the question, if it was Paul Skeens' day and I'm on the other side of it, for me, I was happy as shit.
Me too.
I'm going to be honest with you, dead ass honest. Because I knew even if I went 0 for 4 with 4 Ks, there was a very, 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 very strong chance that I probably saw at least the heater at a bat that was in the zone, at least a slider that I knew was going to – it wasn't going to be let me nibble my way and try to make you get out for 4 straight at-bats.
You're going to get an opportunity to hit.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that I enjoy guys like that.
Same way.
And kind of dovetailing off that same question, it's just this is me asking. Ask Mikey and Mitch. This is Lloyd. How much do you think what happened against Kentucky early in the year, whenever it was very, I would say, I guess a little arduous, with Kentucky kind of firing back at Paul and trying to get under his skin a little bit, and them trying to find some sort of avenue to be able to, I guess, get him off kilter?
I think you're going to see Paul. I think Kentucky's in trouble because Paul pitched one way that way, and they got him. And I think you're going to see.
They were up 10-1 in the first.
You're going to see who?
LSU was up like.
But they got some hits off of Paul.
Yeah,
they scored some runs off of him. Yeah. So I think what you're going to see him do is like he's going to come out there and he's going to attack him, and I feel like he's going to be in a position where he's like, you know what, watch this, and you start to see him throw a little differently as the season has progressed. You're seeing more 2-seamers. You're seeing the breaking ball early in counts more. Like it's
a different pitcher now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I expect them to. I truly expect you to find them because just like you said, they were up like super early, right? LSU was last time that night. I expect you to see Kentucky, honestly, from both sides, but especially from Kentucky, to be able to kind of use the small ball, trying to get him into the stretch very as early as they possibly can. Trying to make him uncomfortable, trying to get him to think about other than anything else besides being able to just rock and pitch. Like, I really expect you to see that.
Yep.
Okay, next one up. Going back to the 2009 season, ask him does anyone from 2009 remind you of what you had with Hayden Travinski that he's done so far in this year?
Yeah, one
like
person
stepped
did. Leon, the first 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
Doing it at this point of the year? Hell no. I don't. Man, that's hard to find, man. That's what he's done over his less than 100 bats this year. At bats this year has been so impressive. It's not even funny.
I mean, he's got 10 home runs.
He's got 10 home runs. It looks like he's up there playing softball. Everything is on the barrel when he's making contact. It's impressive. Like, you can't say anything but hats off to not only how he's handled his at-bats that he's gotten, but the time that he basically sat the bench either not healthy, trying to get healthy and getting to this opportunity and taking advantage of every single opportunity that he's gotten since. Hats off to him. It's super impressive.
Agreed. I mean, there's nobody.
It's like not even thinking about it.
There's nobody that we had that we put in the lineup that year that is doing what he's doing.
No.
Like, there's nobody.
And in that same vein, this is coming from me again. Obviously, Kentucky plays a different brand of baseball. You still expect to see Travinski behind the plate?
Yeah. I mean, you can't.
Just some people, there were some woes on, social.
I get that. But, like, how are you going to take his bat out of the lineup?
Right. And Cade's bat out the lineup.
And Cade's bat out of the lineup. So, yeah, I think you do see him there.
Same?
Pretty much. And because Joe Bear and Pearson have been so productive lately, yeah, I do.
Charles Grosh coming in from
He
YouTube.
starts Sunday.
He starts on Sunday.
Okay.
I think you see pretty much a lot of what you just saw.
So here's what's going to happen. At least I think. And I'm not even going to ask Jay this because why would Jay give any type of strategy to anybody? I would imagine Paul's going to start on Saturday. He's going to do what Paul does. And then I'd imagine Ty's going to start on Sunday. And if there's a shot to win the game on Sunday and they're in a position to win, I wouldn't be shocked if you saw Thatcher come in behind him to end it and say, hey, let's end this thing.
Go do the deal.
Let's get to Omaha. Right, no doubt. But, like I said, I'm not going to ask him that question. But that's my personal opinion. I have no reason. Nobody has told me the answer to that. I'm just saying that's what I could see happening. But Jay is here in the On Deck Circle. So we are going to take a 30-second break, get him situated, and we'll be right back. You're watching Mik'd Up. We'll be back with you in 30 seconds. I want to give a shout out to, like I said, we talk about us getting new partners, new sponsorships all the time. We have a new sponsor, and you've probably seen them on the top left corner in the little spinner logo. FCO Solutions. Our friends on at FCO.
Yeah,
out of
sorry.
Lafayette. They're a civil construction company. They specialize in new multi-family construction.
Yeah, last week's crazy with 3 teams.
If you don't know what civil engineering is, civil construction is, it's okay.
Well, I had to leave because it hadn't been served yet, but there's never been
ready to be built vertically.
I got plenty of work
Giving you
to
a little
do
bit
too,
of a
so it's all
construction
good.
lesson here. I don't know much about it. I've learned it. I've learned it on the go, right? They specialize in site drainage, site utilities, earthworks, site cleaning, house pads, ponds, demo work, and hurricane cleanup. So they do anything that involves dirt, basically, or the earth. And a lot of that gets done before. It has to be done before you are building whatever development you are trying to build. So our friends at FCO have been fans of the show. They are really, really good people. They're down there in Lafayette. If you know anybody from Lafayette, you do know me. J. Mitch is from New Iberia. I'll consider that Lafayette's 337 area code.
There you go.
337 area code. They are unbelievable people. They do a very, very, very good job, and they are committed to growing and being the best at what they do. So I just want to give a shout out to our friends at FCO. I know that they listen. Appreciate you guys. We are going to be great partnerships. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. We are excited to bring back the Jay Johnson Wednesdays. Obviously, last week they had a regional. That's 3 different teams to prepare for. There's a lot of work that goes into that. Coach would not be here where he is right now without the preparation. But as he promised us last week that he'd be back on this week, and they go ahead and they swept the regional last week. Now they can move on to the super regional. Coach, I appreciate you for joining the show. I appreciate you for leaving team dinner a little early to come and give us some attention. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get some positive national championship vibes.
There we go.
There we go.
I love that. This is your first super regional in Baton Rouge. Last year, obviously, y'all didn't host one here in Baton Rouge. Y'all get to host it this year. The crowd throughout the course of the year has been electric. What are you looking forward to this weekend?
Well, I know they're going to show up because regional final at 1 o'clock on a Monday.
Yeah.
I love how everybody missed work, and make your hat tip to our fans for that. That was awesome.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm sad to say that I was not at that game. We were actually doing a live stream here for the game, so we were watching it, obviously. But during the regional, obviously there's a bunch of questions. There's a bunch of things that what you're going to do. But what I noticed the most, especially early on in the regional, was the way that I felt like y'all executed the actual baseball plays, as far as moving guys over, getting guys in. Obviously, Paul does what Paul does, and he went 9 innings and it was unbelievable. But throughout the course of the weekend, it felt like y'all played very complimentary baseball as far as moving guys over and getting them in. Is that something that you saw, and is that something that you stressed moving towards the postseason?
Yeah, for sure. You guys know this. Playing in the postseason, everything is magnified, and you obviously want to take advantage of your chances. We've done a great job at getting leadoff guys on, and we've done a great job with getting guys in from third with less than 2 outs, those types of things. But we really went hard at work on just a few things last week that we needed to do better from the previous weeks, and came out and played very well. I mean, scored 7 runs with no home runs. We knew Tulane was going to be a tough game. They had a good pitcher on Friday. They had a couple good, interesting pieces out of the bullpen, and we really wanted to settle into the postseason, and there's no better way to do that with Paul. And then, the offense executed. I looked up at one point, and we had traded 6 of our outs, but 4 runs scored on 6 of those outs. And that's usually a pretty good formula, and guys did a nice job getting us off to a good start there.
Obviously, you've gotten a firsthand look at how, bipolar the Louisiana weather is. The first 2 games, there was no weather, ended up becoming weather. The last game on Monday had all kinds of weather, ended up being no weather. You had to navigate through some rain delays. You had to navigate through some cancellations and moving. What went into the behind the scenes, right? Did you leave that up to the players? What went in with those rain delays? Because it seems like after they came out of that first rain delay, on Sunday, they came out and the offense kind of flipped the switch. Was that more of a internal thing with the players, or was that more of something that y'all had kind of talked about behind the scenes during those 3 hours?
No, we actually met twice during that time. And, the first 2 innings, we actually did a lot of things right to set the table and to get the bases loaded. Took some really high-quality at-bats against a guy that if you weren't locked in on your plan, he could make it tough on you. And he did a good job in the second inning, wiggling out of a bases loaded 1 out by striking out Tommy and then getting Trey to ground out. But we were on track in terms of how we roll. I was at over 50 pitches through 2 innings, and just to kind of resettle them in and just keep going, because instead of focusing on not getting a 2-out hit in the first inning, where Gavin actually hit the ball really hard at the shortstop on a 3-1 pitch. So you can't fault him for that. Then we didn't get anybody in the second inning, but we kind of preached the message, we're right on track. So stay with it. We knew they were going to make pitching changes. We felt like we had a good pulse on their pitchers and what they were going to do. And so we were just kind of trying to set the stage for that. And big 2-strike hit by Josh Pearson ended up being a triple, and then Dylan's home run kind of got us going. And then I thought from that point forward, the back half of that game and then Monday's game, we played great offense.
I'm glad you mentioned Pearson, right? Because me and you have talked off the show, on the show about Josh Pearson, and you've been very high on him. You've been a fan of his since he's got to LSU. He was a very big part of the lineup last year. This year he kind of got off to a slow start, and some other guys played really well early on, so his playing time started to diminish. And then you look at him now, and now he is one of the biggest contributors right now in the lineup. Clutch hits, great at bats. I feel like every time he's up to the plate, it's a professional at bat, and he's making these guys work. I feel like he's a perfect fit with this lineup in the 9-hole. I feel like he almost completes this lineup. Is that something that you've seen, and are you proud with his progression? Are you proud with the way he's stuck with, what he was trying to do throughout the course of the season?
Yeah, I love Josh and have a lot of confidence in Josh, and he performed very well last year as a freshman in SEC play, which is really hard to do. There's a steep learning curve between high school baseball and what players have to do to be successful in this conference. And the only reason he wasn't playing a little more early is we have a really good team and talented guys. We're playing a little bit better, but I just trust him. I put him in at the beginning of conference play, and we won 2 out of 3 at Texas A&M, won 2 out of 3 at home against Arkansas and Tennessee, and he had a lot to do with it during those series. And then the last weekend at Georgia, kind of the same type of thing, and it just felt like now it's his time, and to be in there, feel good about that, and very confident and comfortable with what he gives us and brings to the table.
Coach, I'm just kind of checking in. We had a little technical difficulties on this side. I couldn't really hear you at first in the headphones. But
might be my fault.
Speaking of proud, I'm literally just going to throw out 2 things right here, and I would like you to speak on it. 5 innings, 12 punchies. Can you just talk about that guy a little bit right now?
Superstar, stud. I've known it the whole time, and he had a rough start. I believe it was against Arkansas and Tennessee. But if you strip those back, this is a pretty dang good season he's had. And I think that got lost maybe because of a couple tough outings. And when you see him pitch, you can see the stuff. And it was just a matter of time and sticking with it. We adjusted a couple things with him. I don't know when that would have been, probably mid-conference. And since then, you're looking at 9 of the last 10 outings have been really, really good.
Yeah. And I was going to get – sorry, keep going. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I was going to ask you, you talked about some of the adjustments, right? And I was going to ask, what went into those things? Because it feels like, as a player, I know that when I'm trying to figure something out at the plate and I feel that adjustment and I feel, okay, this is what clicked, my confidence level shoots through the roof because I knew something was off. And now I don't feel like anything is off. It feels like that's kind of what he's going through right now. I don't know if you want to disclose what was going on, but what was exactly something that y'all needed to fix or tweak or, get him right with?
Yeah, I just think he's done a much better job of making pitch adjustments and getting himself back into mentally and physically, and then he executes a lot better. And with his stuff, if he execute pitches, the hitter's out. And matter of fact, they're probably going to strike out like Oregon State did 12 times. And I think he's understanding how good he is. He had a great outing in Hoover for us in that win against South Carolina. And for me, that's the norm now. It's not a surprise to me at all. And that's why we put him in. We're down 1-0 with 7 chances to score runs with our offense on a day where we thought the ball was going to carry and be good for us. And so we needed a pitcher that could miss bats, and Thatcher misses bats, and feel like he's in just such a great space. And that was a big-time performance. And, I kind of wanted to send him back out for the 9th, but he had given us everything that he'd had. And, when you punch out 12 guys, that pitch count's going to get up there a little bit. But he's shown he can withstand that, getting through the order 3 and 4 times. And we're in a great spot with him, and really proud of him. And honestly, the best is yet to come for him, and that's really exciting.
Speaking of going back out in the 9th, and speaking of studs, he did not go back out for the 9th, but you brought in Gavin Guidry, and he's my favorite player, I think, outside of Dylan Cruz on the team, just based off of what he does, how he approaches just the mound. It's unbelievable. It's fun to watch, and it looks like he's 25 pitching in college instead of 18. Can you talk a little bit about him?
Yeah, I'll just sum it up like this. So after the deal on Monday, he poked his head in my office and he goes, "Coach, it doesn't matter who's calling the pitches. I'm striking everybody out anyways." Have a good night. See you tomorrow.
I love that, and you need that out of your closer. You need that. Yeah. That's one where he walked out and you're like, "I'm okay with this guy. Yeah. I think I'm good with him."
That's my guy. Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt.
Coach, I think, watching through the course of the year from where the year started to the down period, if you will. I think what gets lost really, really easily is how productive he was when he wasn't 6 for 3 every day, right? But now that he's gotten back into a good swing, whether it was this weekend or honestly a couple days before that, a couple games before that, can you point to an at bat over the last maybe 2 weeks where when you watch Dylan hit again, you're like, it's here? Like, it may not have been a hit, it may not have been a ball, it may have been a foul ball. Can you point to an at bat or a specific time over the last 2 weeks, where you felt like it's coming back right now?
Yeah, he had a great week leading up to the regional. I think it was good for him to just get a reset, and then just his body language walking in the box in the first inning on Friday. I was like, we're good, and then single, and it's like, yeah, we're in a good spot. And then he big 2-out hit his second at bat, and he's special, and he just set a bar so high that, let's call it a little bit of a rough spot or whatever you called it.
Exactly,
would not be a rough spot for any other player in the country. You only notice it because of how good he is, and this weekend was truly indicative of who he is as a player, and that was awesome to see, and changes the game for us. He's, like I said, he doesn't come around very often.
I mean, he's a very even keel guy. He doesn't show a ton of emotion, but after he hit that home run, the 2-run home run that kind of put you all back in the game, he showed more emotion on the field than I had ever seen him in 3 years. And to me, like, that one, that fired me up, and two, like, it's got to be fired. It's got to fire the team up to say, oh, damn, this is our leader. He doesn't normally do that. And he did it, right? A lot of frustration came out. There was a lot of motivation. It was just really fun to see. And so, like, to your point, he's a superstar, but that had to be pretty cool to see him actually show some of that emotion.
Yeah, we kind of had an unfortunate inning right after we picked the game back up. A guy hit a home run. It's credit to him. It was an opposite field home run, but it felt like kind of like a wind blown. Yeah, it was like 96 coming in, and it was only 90 going out, and it went over the fence. It was really weird. And then, we were almost about ready to wiggle our way out of a jam, and Jordan made a nice play to get to the ball and try to make a tough throw to the plate, and then they scored one there. But then we came back. Josh hit the triple, Dylan hit the homer, and then Thatcher went out and got a 0, and then Travinsky and Beloso hit the back-to-back homers, and it was like, okay, like, we're in a good spot. And these guys just take good at-bats. They took good at-bats all of Friday. They took good at-bats before the rain delay. It just, with them, it's just a matter of time, and it's just a matter of holding the game close. And we did all of those things really well. The offense helped the defense, pitching helped the defense, and helped the offense. It was just really good complementary team baseball.
Coach, being tasked with the job that you have, I got to imagine that's probably one of the more fulfilling things or cool feelings it is. I don't think people realize the different places and the different things you have to see and be, I guess, on note of during a game. But like you said, watching Dylan walk to the plate and how he walked to the plate is when you knew things would be different. Can you speak on that feeling and that side as a coach for you and how it is being able to see those things and kind of being able to move forward with stuff like that?
Yeah, it's awesome. And again, like, he gets a lot of credit. He's a finalist for the Golden Spikes along with Paul, which both of them deserve that. And that's awesome. And that's the Heisman Trophy of college baseball. So this is a big deal to have 2 of the 3 guys finalists from LSU. And, I appreciate him so much because the talent is easy to see. The work ethic, the lead up to the week, the self-awareness of what he needs to do. I mean, this is all, like, next level special. And then that rubs off on his teammates, and then they want to do better because of him. And then, the mental game part of it is what I've always, spoken to about him. Like, I mean, he does so much to keep himself locked in. And, yeah, he got hit in the mouth a little bit the last couple of weeks, and then it's just the ability to turn on the right mindset, the right motor, and go for it and get into it is awesome. And he did it in a way that kind of only he can. And that's very gratifying to see that because he does it the right way.
Coach, look, I know you have a lot of work to do. I just have a couple questions. I know you're about to dive into to Kentucky. Y'all played them earlier in the year. The games, y'all took 2 out of 3 from them, but that Sunday game was pretty tight, and it got a little chippy throughout the course of the weekend. It feels like watching Kentucky through their regional, they are a little bit of a different team than they were. They obviously they play small ball. They do those types of things really well. but their pitching staff is a little different. I feel like the 3 guys that have been starting over the course of the last couple weeks are not the same guys that y'all had faced earlier. And I feel like in their regional, they hit the ball with a little bit more thump. What have you seen with this Kentucky team compared to what you saw with them earlier in the year?
They do a really good job of, they understand who they are, both from the mound and on offense. And they do the things that they do really well and have a really good plan. And a good plan is one you're willing to lose with. You know what I mean? And you have to be that committed to it. And they are that type of team. It's a really old team. A lot of those pitchers have been there for a while and have kind of come into their own. They did a really nice job in the transfer portal, picking the right type of guys. And they're playing a really good style of baseball. And so I don't see it, much differently than when we played them the last time. Going into that series, I knew it would be a challenging series. It was a gratifying series win when we won our 1-run game on game 3. Or I think it was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because we knew it was a quality team. And, it's kind of one of those intuition things. Like, you get to this round as an SEC coach, you feel like you got about a 50% chance of playing a conference opponent in the super regional. And I just kind of had in my mind we would see them again, and not surprised by it because they're a really good team.
For the people who showed up that weekend or watched that weekend on TV, is there anyone that they have inserted as far as for either, like you said, on the mound or in the lineup that we didn't really see that much back in the beginning of the SEC schedule when we saw them?
Yeah, they used all their pitchers that weekend. Like, we basically saw everybody, but like they have a good template of what they're trying to do and how they line guys up. They're lining them up a little differently than they did, but we saw everybody, and the lineup has been pretty consistent, throughout the year with a bunch of old players.
Well, Coach, I appreciate your time as always. I'm glad that we got you back on here. We are going to be at the box this weekend. We avoided Lloyd having any conversation with you today.
That's not true. I wanted to ask about
we put him on mute.
Who's your weather guy?
Excuse me?
I said, who's your weather guy? You said you got underground sources. Yeah, you never give them up.
Yeah, no. They stay underground.
That's it. That's good. That's a good man.
Who's your weather guy?
That's a good man. We'll be in the box this weekend. We're gonna have a nice little mic'd up tailgate before the game on Saturday, and looking forward to watching y'all play. Good luck this weekend, and
see you at the box.
See you in Omaha. See you at the box and see you in Omaha.
Good luck this weekend, Coach.
Good luck, Coach.
All right. Sounds great, guys.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
You don't need luck.
Luck's a product of preparation. Is that how that works?
Residue of
Is that what it is?
something like that.
Something like that.
That's how they say it.
That's wrong luck. So you get lucky. You have to do something to get luck.
Ain't no luck. I watched Rounders last night. There's no
Ain't
luck.
no such thing as luck.
Ain't no such thing as luck. Great movie.
When preparation meets opportunity.
That's it. That's it.
What about
It's good to see him back on the show. It's good to have him back on the show.
Good to see him back in good spirits.
Back in his face.
Hey, well, look, I mean, he's right. There was a lot of last few weeks were stressful. There were a lot of questions, a lot of injuries. Like,
a lot of shit going on.
A lot of stuff happening,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And now he's back, and they won, and they played really good. That's probably the best baseball they've played probably in a month, like top to bottom, not just one game, but like consistent
pitching
games.
it, defending it, hitting it, all that.
So I think he's feeling pretty good about where they're at going into this weekend. I'm feeling good about where they're at going into this weekend. We still have a few minutes left of the show. We have any more questions that we want to answer, or are we going to get to the segments?
Let me take a peek. Take a peek
little
real
gander.
quick. Just off the top, would you? Speaking of the weather, supposed to rain, 50% chance on Saturday.
Listen, it's summertime.
It's June in Louisiana, South.
Yeah,
Louisiana.
it's gonna be a potential rain every day.
Yeah.
Do you think that he bases his pitching rotation off of that at all?
Because
you saw everything break right for.
Yeah, but he didn't base his pitching rotation off weather last week. He didn't. Not before he doesn't know before the week starts.
Oh, he's got guys.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he did not base. He pitched Skeens, and he did not base it because there's no weather supposed to be on Friday or Saturday or Sunday. There was no weather that was supposed to be on. There was a bunch of weather that was supposed to be on Monday. So no weather days on Saturday and Sunday had a ton of weather.
I love when Lloyd.
The weather day on Monday had no weather.
I love when Lloyd goes full fan.
No doubt.
It's the greatest.
But no, I think
Can't help it.
I think that the weather has nothing to do with how he's going to start it right now. I think he is starting Paul Skeens on Saturday.
See him on Monday.
And you're going to see Ty Floyd on Sunday. And then
he's leaving Paul for the if necessary.
The if necessary game.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Could you imagine? You know what? He's actually going to put him out the pen, let him close out the 2 games.
I think he'll pitch about 3 innings in the first game, and you'll probably see him at the back half of the second game.
Yeah, that's right. That sounds about right. That makes sense.
There's a lot of people that thought that.
Yeah. Well.
So, since they've only lost back-to-back games, one time this year? Twice this year. Twice this year. I think he's playing the percentages of we'll at least split the first 2 and then Skeens will go on Monday.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's going with. I think that's the way to go with it.
The way he's talking about Thatcher, you got.
What do you mean talking aces. About? You open your eyes for 5 innings last week.
You got 2 aces now.
If you do look into the Thatcher numbers, the last 3 starts he's gone.
No doubt.
5-5.
Last 3 outings.
Yeah, the last 3 outings. Yeah, that's a better way to put it because that's the truth. Do you think that's the role for him, where you don't see him start on Sunday, where he almost piggybacks every time? Is that where he's more comfortable?
No, because he started in SC tournament.
Yeah,
he did.
So I think that he's a star. I told you, I think he's a starter until unless they have a chance to win the series on Sunday, and they're up, and they said, all right,
Coach, I wouldn't be in a short.
Maybe he starts the Sunday game.
In a very, very, very and I'm just only basing this off of how he just went about using him this past week and maybe the weekend before. But I wouldn't be surprised if for some reason, because remember, this is the same Kentucky team that we watched and we were like, hey, they're not doing anything super impactful, but they're putting together good at bats against Paul Skeens, right? Yep. If for some reason they're able to grind him out and really drive up the pitch count, and he's only able to go through 5 plus 5 with 5 to 6, and they're up, I wouldn't be surprised to see Thatcher. Yeah, I wouldn't be. Especially if you can somehow do it and maybe not burn him in a sense of if necessary, if needed again on Sunday, I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be. So we'll see. And then with that being said, just like you said, I also wouldn't be surprised to see if he got a start sometime this weekend.
Yep.
So we'll see.
We'll see.
One from the chat coming in hot. Lyndon Lewis, who strikes out more this weekend, Hurd or Floyd?
Good question.
Isn't that crazy that you're going straight to Thatcher?
Well, it's not even about ability. It's about just the way the lineup is and the way it's set up. I think Thatcher's got more swing and miss pitches.
Yeah, but that's what if you want to, I guess you kind of can call it ability, and it's not a knock against Ty Floyd. You're literally sitting there watching when he's on. It's 95 plus with a very good changeup with the wipeout breaking ball. But if you're talking about just straight up swing and miss stuff when they're throwing well, it's Thatcher. It is. As hard as crazy as that is to say, it's him. So if I had to guess off of guessing that they're both on, I'm gonna go with Hurd.
I don't blame you at all, which is crazy just because of where he's come from and the arduous.
Not for me. No,
you can see it.
Well, no, like Jay said it that he's a superstar. I said, go back, dude. As soon as the year started, before they actually started playing real games, I said, if this team is going to go where they need to go, that guy's got to pitch how they basically recruited him to come in here and pitch. He's finding that stride. So.
Next one up. I don't know if this resonates with y'all or not, but let me find it. EQ.
You're going to be mad at me when I pick my curtain call.
Oh, why?
Ask Mikey and Mitch. Is Jake Farley the most underrated? Oh.
Who? Go ahead.
Jake Farley, the most underrated LSU baseball player of all time.
Jake Farley.
Jake Farley is Chris's.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, I don't know who this is.
He's the brother of Chris.
Yeah, not the best actor.
I don't think he's underrated.
Huge shadow.
I think he's overlooked. It's probably the better word. Not overrated because he was drafted in the second round or supplemental round.
Yeah.
Of the draft, so
Made
I think
it to the bigs.
He's still in the bigs. He's still playing the Major
He's in the big leagues right now. Yeah.
I think he's the most he's overlooked for sure. I think Jake's a great dude. Jake's an unbelievable player. He's very quiet.
Super quiet.
And so I think that's kind of why maybe some people have forgot. He wore number 8 at one point.
Super quiet.
Great guy, great kid, great player, and he deserves all the success. But I wouldn't say underrated. I'd say probably overlooked.
I would go with overlooked as well, and I would say it's more so because he has a very he's so quiet that he almost goes like unnoticed in a way. He's like, it's weird, you know, like that's just it is what like.
Right.
So I wouldn't say underrated. I think when you bring his name up, you're like, you think about it, and you're like, oh yeah, like really talented. Like I remember him, physical specimen, really talented. Like yeah, that doesn't to me feel like underrated. It feels like, oh shit, I forgot.
Yeah.
So yeah, that overlooked as opposed to underrated is probably a better way to say it.
And one more, I don't know if y'all are, that this is actually your lane, but Ken Caminetti's son has reclassified. He's a 90. He is a left-hander that throws 97 off the bump. I believe he is committed to LSU, but may not see.
I will say this: if you're a left-handed pitcher and you're throwing 97 miles an hour,
there's a strong chance.
Yeah, I doubt that you show up on campus. Now, maybe the way it works now, maybe so. Also, crazy that Ken Caminetti's kid is a pitcher and not a masher.
Yeah.
Maybe he was a masher at one point, but 97 off the mound, lefty, we'll do it.
All right, that's all we have for Ask Mikey and Mitch.
Appreciate all the questions. The Jay Johnson interview, before we go to our segments, the Jay Johnson interview is brought to you by our friends down at Heineken. Heineken Silver is the beer of Mik'd Up. It is. It'll be on the ice chest. On the ice chest, probably in the ice chest too. This weekend, this Saturday.
On the ice.
In the ice chest. This Saturday, it is Heineken's version of their light beer. It is 95 calories. It is 4% alcohol. It is really good, really, really refreshing. I think it's starting to catch on. People are starting to drink more of it. If you don't like Heineken, that's okay. This doesn't taste anything like the regular Heineken. This tastes really good. Give it a shot in all the stores. You'll see the advertisements everywhere. They're doing a very good job.
Rouse's, Albertsons, Walmart, anywhere you go to get your beer, you can find Heineken Silver.
That's it. Shout out to them. All right. Segments. Mistake of the day is brought to you by
our one and only
Doe's Eat Place.
Doe's Eat Place, where you can get your steaks, your tamales, your chilies,
your
burgers
and your
for
lunch.
Burgers.
If you're
for lunch,
hungry for lunch. Only for lunch is the burger. Steaks all the time. Mistake of the day. I feel like it belongs to one person only. Maybe double mistake of the day and a curtain call, which would be the first time ever to have somebody that does the curtain call and the mistake of the day goes to the one and only Zion Williamson.
I don't know if that's a curtain call, maybe.
Well, the first one was a curtain call. To the gender reveal seemed very wholesome.
Okay.
Everybody was happy. Fast forward 12 hours later, it turns out he's in a pickle dick.
Yeah, you got started getting blasted on. Listen to me. If something like that happens, and somebody's gonna out you on social media, like, here's my thing: what is the strategy behind that? Do you want to just take him down, or do you think that this is gonna make him get
like
back
you more?
with you? Right? Like, why do we have to put people's business out there for the whole world to see when you can't just go through it privately?
Coach, I would like to not comment on that in public.
I mean,
she commented plenty.
Oh, a lot. That's
Wow.
tough. Tough day.
Tough day.
Tough day when you're letting the world know you're bringing a new one in.
Mm.
That's not exactly how you drew it up.
That is tough. Tough. Okay.
Curtain call.
Our curtain call is brought to you by that's Doe's. Brought to you by our friends here at
Poof. This is tough.
That's tough.
That's tough.
Curtain call is brought to you by our friends at Assured Partners.
And
me.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me lead it off, man.
You're gonna take mine.
I'm gonna lead it off, man. I'm leading it off. I'm leading it off because there's only 16 teams left in college baseball.
I don't think you're gonna take mine.
No.
Thank God.
No. There's only 16 teams left in college baseball. After this weekend, there will only be 8, which means there is that much less college baseball to watch, right? Cool. Yeah, we all know that. I know. So that means in the middle of the summer, Major League Baseball is heating up. If you don't like Major League Baseball,
you are taking mine.
If you
You
like to watch
all the way around to take
some
it.
impressive talent,
Jesus.
listen. I don't get excited about too many kids and watching too many guys play the game, but this dude is absolutely electric. If you don't,
He's taking
if
all
you
of ours.
haven't, if you've only
You're
seen
gonna do
maybe
it
some
too?
clips, get your eyes on Ellie De La Cruz.
God damn it.
He is the new shortstop of the Cincinnati Reds, and I don't envision him going anywhere for a while.
21 years old.
But if I were you, I would get my eyes on him like soon.
So last year's Mania, was it last year or the year before? With don't play yet.
An hour ago.
Last year's Mania with the shortstop for the Pirates.
Yeah.
O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah, this in my eyes is a little better.
Right. But my point is, you're seeing this guy who's 6'7", he can run, he can hit homers, he can hit balls extremely hard. This guy is doing it plus more, right? So Ellie De La Cruz is 21 years old. He just got called up because he was absolutely
dominating,
making holes in the outfield wall in AAA. Like he was hitting balls 118 miles an hour.
The other side of the wall too.
Yeah, and so he gets called up. Yesterday he hits his debut. It's a double in the gap at 117 miles an hour exit velocity. Right, again, this guy's 21. Today hits his first home run. Play it. This is all of our curtain calls, by the way. This guy deserves.
I got one more from Cincy.
Okay, perfect. Uh-oh. Okay.
Sometimes when you just gotta hit the old refresh.
Oh, now you gotta log in. Oh no. So this ball.
Just get your eyes
just
on
watch where it lands. Watch where it lands. Oh, person was in the pink shirt.
Oh my God!
Drops it.
Murdered.
458 feet is what StatCast came out and said it was. Right.
How fired up they are.
Unbelievable, right?
He basically hit a chain link fence in a major league ballpark. Just really think of what it takes to have a chain. Really think of how far it is from the field to have a chain link fence in a major league baseball game.
No doubt. And so here's the next one, right? So he is. I wish you could have this. So he not only hits balls really hard and really far, but he flies. So his next at bat in the third inning hits a ball in the right center field gap and hits a triple.
This is like.
But not only did he hit the triple.
30 minutes ago.
30 minutes ago. He got from home to third in 10.83 seconds, which is the fastest in Major League Baseball so far this year. Second fastest going back to last year. So second fastest over a year in time.
Yeah.
And just the point is, look, we haven't talked a ton of Major League Baseball on this show, and we are going to talk a lot more as the season starts.
Yeah.
College baseball season goes away. But this kid is special, and he's fun to watch. And if you haven't seen him, go watch him. Now watch. This ball's like, look at him run, dude.
Like a deer.
This ain't even close.
Not even close. And that ball wasn't even like in triple area.
Mookie Betts in right field, and whoever's playing center is
it's probably
Mookie Betts
Trace
in
or
right
something.
field. So basically what I'm saying is two guys that can run, that actually play the game hard too and ain't really dogging it.
Crazy.
Since we have to switch it up, we'll stay in Cincinnati. My curtain call goes to the one and only. We finally have an That's a hack.
By the way, did you see
He almost killed that man.
His post today?
No. Oh, the small hands?
Yeah, small hands. Somebody keeps receipts. He ain't letting them go, baby.
So he obviously played baseball in his lifetime.
He wanted to be a baseball player before anything else. He was a pitcher shortstop.
I feel like a lot. Josh Allen probably won't do the same thing.
Oh, cover a Madden.
Shout out to Josh Allen.
There's a video a couple days ago of A.J. Brown hitting too.
A.J. Brown was A.J. Brown was
I know, but that's why.
Yeah. He's a high school All-American in football and baseball.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. A.J. can swing the stick.
A.J. can swing it. He can swing it.
He probably should have been the one playing both sports at Ole Miss instead of the defensive tackle or whatever that they had there.
I thought you were going to say John Rice Plumlee after he made
John Rice Plumlee is now he's in
UCF.
Wait, why the shit you sending me this?
Oh, here we go.
Why you sending me this shit?
Is that what you had to do?
What?
Did they give you a cart?
Yeah, I did that my sophomore year. Yeah.
No social media at that point to really show it to us.
Yeah, let's sensationalize it now. Whatever.
Get no credit. Don't want it.
We appreciate
seen it before.
Yeah, seen it. We appreciate everybody tuning into the show. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate your love and your support. We appreciate the growth. you have allowed us to have throughout the course of this baseball season. We're going to continue to watch baseball with you through the course of the World Series and the rest of summer, leading up into football. We have a lot of special things on the horizon going into football season. First up is our tailgate this Saturday at 2 o'clock. Well, the game's at 2 o'clock. Tailgate will be going way before that. We will give you more details as the week progresses. We have another show here live in studio from 1 to 3 p.m. We're going to preview the weekend against Kentucky. We're also not going to tell you where the tailgate is. It's up to you to come and find us. If you really want it, you'll find it. If you don't really want it, we'll see you inside the stadium. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you can't watch us and you like to listen to us because you travel for work or you want to listen to us in your office or anywhere you get your pods, again, appreciate all the love. Before we go, shout out to our newest sponsor and the purchaser of our ticker, Land Rover at Peretti. We appreciate you. We appreciate you inviting us to your tailgate last weekend at Walk-Ons. Even though it rained the game out, it gave us a lot of fun before the game got rained out. We got to watch the Tennessee-Clemson game.
Go check them out.
Go check them out. Unbelievable
check out people over there, man.
Unbelievable people. Great.
See what they can do for
service.
you.
Yes. See what Brown can do for you.
It's theme of the day, baby.
Oh, that's where we got to go. You got to pick up your shift.
Theme of the day, baby.
That's it. All right. Enjoy the rest of your hump day. Enjoy the Game 3 of the NBA Finals. We'll see you again on Friday. Peace.
Peace.
And Saturday.
And Sunday. And Monday.